Who is this? Do I know this?
He's new.
I haven't seen him.
I haven't seen him. What's his English name? Let me look it up.
Oh, he's a good piano player. Oh my god, that guy's hair. Oh mon dieu. Look at this fa. Holy shit. Is this old?
Not really. Not that old.
Whew.
He wrote the song.
曾经意外，他和她相爱，在不会犹豫的时代，以为明白，所以爱得痛快，一双手紧紧放不开。心中的执着与未来，忘不了你的爱，但结局难更改。我没能把你留下来，更不像他能给你一个期待的。
Do you know him?
No.
No!
No.
I like him.
Yeah.
未来那幼稚的
But his voice does not match his face.
What do you mean?
I don't know, he just looks like an innocent little boy look, and then his voice is like kind of gritty and his lyrics, like the vocals feel kind of punchy and
男孩。
The song name is called That Boy.
that boy.
的关怀一直随身携带，无人的地方再打开，想问你现在是否有心不在，像躺在阳光下的海，像用心涂抹的色彩，让你微笑起来，勇敢起来，忘不了你的爱，那结局难更改。
Like he does like a
Yeah.
like it's gritty. Oops.
我没能把你留下来，更不像他能给你一个期待的未来，那幼稚的男孩。
I think it's funny, there's always like, not always, but like a token white guy, which is so interesting because here it would be interesting if there was like an Asian dude in a band, but it's just the opposite here where it's like, there's a white guy on guitar. Oh, interesting. Cool. I got a white guy in there. Is it JJ that has that?
Yeah.
The guy that I always
want.
want.
Yeah. The hippie looking guy.
"想你，就现在，想你，每当我有徘徊，所有遗憾的都不是未来，所有爱最后都难免逃不过伤害，那不必再重来。
I assume this is his original song.
Yes.
I keep wanting it to do, it feels almost hooky for me.
Yeah?
and then he goes another direction.
What would you do?
I don't know. There's a few times the melody, I'm like, I expect it to like do something, and he goes somewhere else.
I wish you can.
I'll stop it if I can find it again.
只希望统统来得更痛快，反正不能够重来。
I don't know if he's gonna sing again. This is a nice performance. Yeah, this is a nice performance and more hooky for me than many Chinese songs, but it still like was halfway where I was like, yeah, oh, okay. Especially at the beginning.
Part?
Especially at the beginning, I was like, oh.
Interesting.
Yeah, but he's cool. He uses his grit and his thickness really confidently, really consistently. It never really faltered. Seemed like a good performance.
His name is Bruce Liang.
Cool.
Reminds me of Billy Clifford.
The
Singing
gritty,
style.
the gritty,
The singing style.
the gritty. Yeah, I see that. Is this an original?
Yep. He only sings original.
Cool.
Quite a songwriter.
I like this
Instrument player.
production.
总是梦见云层之上飞过自我线，分不清是黑夜
Oh my god, he's reminding me of that other male Chinese singer that he did a duet with JJ when JJ was in the purple, and he's like, who is it? I've seen him a whole bunch of times. He's probably a judge on The Voice.
是白天
Like everything is like like it's very like,
In The Voice?
I don't know. We watched him, I think, last week. Like, we've done a lot on him. What the hell is his name?
Who are you talking about?
带着装不下的期待，匆匆的赶来。我
Okay, yo, we watched him last week. He did a duet with JJ, and he's a very clean singer. And we talked about
Li Jian?
yeah.
They're very different. So different.
I'm not saying they're similar artists. I'm saying the way he's singing right now is resembling that very clean, not staccato, but it's just these like clean lines. There's not a lot of vibrato. There's not a lot of anything. It's just like
yeah. But genre-wise, they're very different genres. Quite
I don't
different.
even know if I agree.
Quite different. This guy's more of a rocker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with a thicker tone and stuff.
Yeah, grits, and Li Jian never does grits.
And Li Jin is more traditional. But this vocalizing right here and within this context of this songwriting, it's that very clean, simple.
想一遍，想一遍，我们寻找着在这条路的终点，
Now it's over. It was just that first section.
Okay.
我们迷失着在这条路的两端。每当黄昏阳光把所有都渲染，你看那金光多耀眼。我们奔跑着在这条路的终点，我们哭泣着在这条路的两端。
This guy feels more what I would call singer-songwriter. Not that obviously a lot of artists review are songwriters, but as far as the genre goes, like there is a genre in the West that we call singer-songwriter, and it's a I'd say the genre singer-songwriter doesn't necessarily sound like this in the West. It's a little bit more stripped down in acoustic guitar, banjo, ukulele. But I just mean this feels like when I've now seen, this is my second song, they've got these back vocals, it's got these lush, like his writing, I see the through line in his writing already.
黄昏阳光把所有都渲染，我看到夜的黑暗，晚风吹过金色上海边的蜿蜒，那种味道现在还不习惯。拉斯维加斯往返的路上，我看见。这里无人烟，无人烟。
Did he go da da da? Did he riff down?
Not as complicated. Simpler.
No, he did that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I just haven't heard a lot of agility out of him.
No, he doesn't do that a lot.
这里无人烟，无人烟。我们寻找着在这条路的终点，我们迷失着在这条路的两端。每当黄昏阳光把所有都渲染，你看那金光多耀眼。
It reminds me of a Midway State song. The Midway State. One of their songs kind
I
of
don't know.
sounds like this.
Is that a band?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is... The two songs we've seen of him now, it's not surprising me that we're both being reminded of shit we know.
Yeah.
Because it's in that pocket.
It's quite Western, actually.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have heard this one before.
Have you?
Yeah, I just didn't remember the artist.
I find it very East meets West, though, because of what I said.
Even in the lyrics, he's talking about Las Vegas and...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah, I find like it's definitely Western influenced, but I still think it goes a different direction than my... Over and over, I'm expecting.
Yeah, the Sunset Boulevard.
Oh, California.
奔跑着在这条路的中间，我们哭泣着在这条路的两端。每当黄昏阳光把所有都渲染，我看到夜的黑。
Why do you know it?
Someone sent it to me once to listen to and said, "Oh, the song is good,"
Oh, nice.
and I heard it once.
Oh, nice. A casual bagpipe? What do you mean? That's insane.
Something different. It's very different.
That's so crazy
Yeah.
to throw that in
It's
there.
more adventurous than a lot of singers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a very Scottish. Like it's not a pop instrument anywhere. Mm-hmm. Cool. Makes it feel like that's not even how we typically hear a bagpipe. It's like being played poppily.
Yes.
It's like it's usually what you hear out of a bagpipe.
Okay, yeah.
Interesting.
奔跑着在这
Key
条
change.
路中间，哭泣着在这条路的两端。每当黄昏阳光把所有都渲染，我看到夜的黑暗。
I love when you feature your back vocalist for a yeah. Nice. Is that Lee? Because that's who I meant.
DJ, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like a modernized version of him to me.
Huh, interesting.
Like very, very modernized. Like I mean,
Interesting.
in a completely esoteric world. There's yeah.
The vibes are very different. See, this guy, he never really puts the focus on himself. Almost. You know, like, he wouldn't be interesting to look at. If you just give him a mic without any instrument, he's the type of guy that would be like, he doesn't know what to do on stage.
Well, but I'm going to give him more credit. I think that he also is weaving like a group vibe into his songs. He's got, those back vocals are very distinctive, how they've been arranged.
Yeah.
They're unison.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if he arranged the whole thing, right? And these are all his buddies or friends, because I think he shines as a whole band.
As an arranger, as a composer, as an instrumentalist, as a songwriter. As
not like a performer who dances or like attracts.
Yeah, he's not Michael Bublé.
He's not the focus, almost, like, you know?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean...
He's not drawing the most attention onto himself.
I think it's about the songs.
Yeah, more about the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, one of my friends is a guitar player for a big, famous country act. And when I first was getting to know him, I was like, oh, when you play those big shows at like Madison Square Garden, don't you just want to play like a big ripping guitar solo? Mm-hmm. And he's like, what I really love is bringing textures and rhythms, and it's kind of reminding me of him and what he's doing right now. Like, I can tell he's the kind of guy that probably has 29 guitars, because he's like, the tone of this one, man. The tone of this one's really sweet, and I'm going to pair it with a bagpipe, man, and it's going to be really cool and vibey.
More like an artist.
Yeah. This is nice production, actually. It's a nice song. Is this recent?
Oh, quite some time ago.
It's true. You have to be a fan of music to fully appreciate songs like this. In a way, you're right, because it's not about him. It's not even just about the vocals or the lyrics. Yeah. It's the whole vibe. Like, the audience all has their eyes closed and everybody's like feeling these solos, and the solos are drawn out to like way longer than you can get away with, really. Yeah. But it's for the sake of the whole vibe.
He's debuted in The Voice, and he won The Voice.
Oh,
in China.
really?
Yeah. I think it was a little bit controversial at that time, because he's not like
the vocalist.
Singing.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
well, that's why any contest is a challenging thing in the arts, because it's not math. It's not like who scored the highest points.
It's not sports.
You can't do that. It's really like
art is art. Yeah.
Art is art, and different people enjoy different things, and there's also so many different metrics. Well, I'm going to favor all the artists that play an instrument. Well, I'm going to favor the artists that can have the biggest range. Well, I'm going to favor the artists that wrote their own songs. Well, I'm going to favor the artist who has grit. Well, I'm going to favor... As soon as you start changing your metrics or taste, you've lost all rational judgment. Yeah. So for a show like The Voice, I can see the argument of people being like, well, this is not the most prolific voice of the season. But I also see the argument of like, look how thorough and thick his musicianship is.
Yes.
This is so much more musicianship than if you probably do have a singer who's an incredible riffs and runs and high and low. They don't play an instrument. They don't write their own songs. There is no straight across the board metric for what. There's no such thing.
No. Yeah.
And it really also depends what you value. Do you care if the music you're listening to, like, do you look up like, oh, who wrote this? Did they write this?
Sometimes I do.
Do you?
Only in songs I like that I would like interested enough to look it up.
But it's one of the first things I do.
Oh. Before you, well, how can?
No, if I'm like, oh, this song is good, I'm like, who wrote it?
Yeah, exactly. You need to like the song first.
Totally. But under that guise, because there are people who'd be like, oh, I don't know who wrote it. Who knows if they're who knows if they wrote it? Who cares? When American Idol was first a thing and you had your Kelly Clarksons and Carrie Underwoods and all these people coming out with these massive hit songs, nobody was like, whoa, did Carrie Underwood write before he cheats? People were just like, whoa, she's such a good singer and she's so pretty. And, you know, and so what I'm saying is the metric also changes with the times and the trends. There is a time when people are like, oh, he's singer-songwriter and he plays the ukulele and he wrote this little ditty for his mom. And then there are times where it's like, this is Kelly Clarkson and she won The Voice and she hit a high G. Like, they're just different metrics of what people give a shit about.
Yeah.
I personally, if I like a song, I'm like, was this written by 9 people or did John Mayer write this by himself? Like, I just want to know those things because you're right. It's not gonna change how much I like the song, but it does like shift my perception of the artist.
Yeah, you appreciate more when they are writing.
Yeah, and it also informs me. I don't know. I like I say, I'm a nerd. I like to be like, oh man, he wrote this by himself in his bedroom with his little guitar. Or I'm like, whoa, there's 11 writers on this, man. They probably were in like a big studio and they were all like on their instruments, like jamming. Like, I just like to kind of have those little wonderments. This reminds me of...
Almost sounds like an OST, like a soundtrack.
It makes me feel like the early 2000s, late 90s, Rod Stewart, I don't know, where there was long solos and it wasn't about getting to the end of the song in 2 minutes and 22 seconds. And it was about like the big shape and the layers and the experience. I think because of algorithms and Spotify and Apple and all of these things, artists now are like, well, we got to get it down to 2 minutes and 10 seconds and we got to get people listening to at least, 86% of it. So we have to shorten it and we can't waste it on a solo and, the bagpipe is not trending. Get the bagpipe out of there. Like, modern artists that are coming up don't have the luxury of this, and this is beautiful. This is not folk music, but this is like attending a folk festival where you're like, oh man, this is vibey. I closed my eyes for like 30 seconds and I just vibed out, and he played this cool solo on some weird instrument and it was just like really touching. Like, you don't have that luxury if you're trying to come up right now, or even if you are famous, you can't put out a 5-minute rolling. Adele's last record, it was a talked about thing that she has like a 9-minute or a 7-minute song and they still got popular, but you have to be real popular to get away with that shit. Yeah. And I would argue it'll never be her biggest stuff.
Yeah.
You have to play by a very particular set of rules. Yeah. Whereas, or you don't, and you just do whatever the fuck you want and you find your people. And that's who I think he is.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, but there are consequences with that.
Yes.
I mean, it's not as memorable.
Yeah, and I doubt he's...
hooky.
I don't know, but I doubt he'll play on stages as big as Zhou Shen. Am I wrong?
He's more indie.
But that's what I mean. Yeah, but by the term singer-songwriter, that's what I mean. And he's the kind of indie artist who's just like, I'm going to put a bagpipe and I'm going to make layers and I'm going to have these back vocals. I'm going to have 4 back vocalists singing unison. So it's kind of like gang vocals, but it's going to be like really vibey and chill. And
yeah, I think it suits smaller venues.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. My biggest fantasy was to play venues of like 3,000 people, because that's where you can still like story tell and just like do this, just like have people sit around and like do interesting things.
Any bigger than that, and
that's why I never was like, and then when I have 10 backup dancers, because I always wanted to play like 3,000 person venues where it's like, oh, it's really special and you could hear a pin drop. Ever wonder why pop songs are getting shorter and shorter? No more epic 90s power ballads. Today's songs are like 2 minutes long. As an artist, I'm gonna pull back the curtain and let you in on why. Artists are trying to get you to listen all the way to the end of the damn song. Streaming platforms like Apple and Spotify prioritize songs with a low skip rate. If most people are playing a song all the way to the end, Apple and Spotify say, aha, this is a good song, and they show it to more people. Everyone has a very short attention span these days, especially since the creation of Vine, then Instagram, now TikTok. You're more likely to listen all the way to the end of the song if the song is short. So there you go.